Hi, I'm Sally Kirkman from sallykirkman.com, and I'm here with Christina Rodenbeck from the oxfordastrologer.com. And we're here to talk to you about Taurus, the star sign Taurus, the bull.
Yeah.
Very kind of bull is sort of, let's often think of Taurus like bull-like, fixed earth, bull-like, won't be moved, won't be budged.
Yeah. Often a very good looking sign though, because it's ruled by Venus, of course. So although it's bull, it's represented by the bull, which is a male cow, it is actually a feminine sign, which is an interesting juxtaposition or contradiction, really. So yeah, I mean, I find the fact that it's Venus ruled really important with Taurus. It's the sign of, in the north, it's the sign of absolute spring. When spring is at its utmost, of fertility and abundance, and the sap rising, and the May Queen, and May Day, and going off into the woods and making babies. And also, it's the second sign of the zodiac, right? So it's the toddler.
Yeah, that's true. It is the toddler. And the time when seeds begin to sprout and grow. Aries, you sow the seeds. Taurus season, here's all that lovely produce. And that's another side of Taurus, actually. It's about production. I mean, they're often very good with their hands. I'm using my hands here, of building things, sculpting things. It's also very often you get very good Taurus artists because they've got that eye for art, being Venus ruled. And they have that sort of slowness and steadiness to bring things into beauty, things into materializing things.
Yeah, making things manifest, making things actually happen. Of course, it's also a sign that's associated with banks and banking, with money, not with exchange, that's Gemini, but with gaining money, acquiring money, holding on to money, which is also interesting because it's, that's also a Venusian activity. Venus rules cash. So Taurus is actually much more kind of multifaceted than one might think, because it's got this whole kind of money materialist angle. It's also the sign that we associate with the five senses, don't we?
Yeah, very sensual sign, very sensual. And a word I often think is quite Taurian is languorous. I think I've pronounced that correctly. But sort of that, the ability to lounge around in comfort. I mean, I love that about Taurus. There's it can be quite, Taurians can be quite lazy. They can just be quite happy, sort of reveling in the senses and doing things really slowly and savoring life, savoring good food and drink and, abundance. But also what I like about Taurus is that they can be incredibly funny. They have a really dirty sense of humor at times. I mean, really sort of bawdy sense of humor. So they can be great fun just to sort of hang out with and laugh.
Yeah, it's the opposite sign to Scorpio, of course.
It is.
So that's always interesting when you're looking at a sign to see what this opposite is. And because those two will have stuff in common, in fact, it's not that they're completely different, it's that they're on the same axis. And so hence the sensual sexiness of Taurus matches the sexiness of Scorpio. And this is a very sensual sign. The Taurians like silk sheets. They like, I don't know a single Taurus who doesn't like something very, very delicious. This can go extreme in that you find Taurians can become too fixated on food, whether that's negative, whether that's eating nothing or eating too much. I've seen that go both ways. But when they're really living their sun, there's this really great appreciation of being here now, and that's what this is the sign of. It's the fixed earth, is be here now. And there's something that Taurus really, really has to teach the rest of us, which is how to be here now, how to be embodied in the world, how to enjoy your physicality and not kind of spend your whole time up in your head, but actually ground yourself and enjoy the fact that you can taste, you can touch, you can feel, and that those things are actually it's a privilege.
So what about the shadow side, do we think?
Stubborn.
Yes, that's the word I was going for as well. Also power. You mentioned they can become fixated on things, so they can have kind of like a power complex or get fixated on power, and won't let go. There's that sort of determination, that stubbornness, and a refusal to give up, which can be good depending what which way you're going. But yeah, sometimes they just hold on to things.
And they can, I have known Taurians stay in a job when they should have left, for instance, or stay in a marriage when they should have left, for not just for a little while, but for years or months when, it's clear this is finished, it's over. But that kind of willingness to stay, it's got a fantastic side because it makes them like super reliable. But on the other hand, they lack, you can, if you have a lot of Taurus in your chart, it's hard to get you going. It's hard to get going because there's a kind of a heavy quality to it. So I think that's also the shadow side, is getting stuck. And a real resistance to change, a real resistance to moving into something new. Just it's that fixed quality, isn't it? Fixed earth. When fixed earth gets kind of muddy, it's like quagmire, pulls you down, you get stuck in it. So agreed. Yeah. And power, I think, is also power, and also controlling. This is the other thing I've noticed with Taurians, is that there can be, because of the fixity, there's a quality about that sign that likes to have things under control. And that's fine when it's things, but not great when it's people. So that's something that you need to be careful of if you're a Taurus, and ask yourself, am I being overly controlling? Okay, great. Bye.